Hi Stampers, another video tutorial coming at ya. I'm filming lots of them today, all in preparation for my stamp club and slash catalog party, catalog launch party that I do together. Most of my stampers are in my stamp club, my regular stampers, and I like to do a catalog launch for them to show my appreciation and thank you for being my customers, because I love them all to bits and I couldn't do what I do without them. And this is one of the projects I'm going to use as a little prize or a favor. I haven't decided yet. Depends on how many how many goodies I can get my hands on to stuff them with. I'm drinking my tea, and yeah, so I might make a few. I might make one for everyone. I'm really not sure yet. But what we're gonna make today, I saw this online from a stamper in the UK. I loved it. Found it through Pinterest. I'm gonna see if I can find the link for my blog and my YouTube post. If I don't, then I'll update it as soon as I find out. I'm casing this one, so I want to give credit where credit is due. It's this little tiny box, but it's got a lovely prize inside. And this is Cherry Cobbler and Blushing Bride, meant to go with what's inside. So just give me a second. You can do these in any color pattern, not clashing colors, but opposite colors, I guess, depending on the color of what's inside. This little box, it's like a little explosion box, because you open up the lid and an EOS lip balm fits inside. How cool is that? So this one, I mean, I have the purple one here. This is my very well used one. I don't have any new ones on hand. This one's meant to go with the pomegranate one, the one that's very, very close to this Cherry Cobbler Stampin' Up color. So what you could do is you could do the light one. You could do it, there's a blue that's like a pool party color, and then you could do a darker on the outside and just do your opposites. So fit your colors accordingly. I'm going to do this one. I'm hoping to grab some pomegranate EOS lip balms for club as some little prizes, and so that's why I'm doing another one in this particular color, because that's how I want, that's what I want for club. So let me put that aside and we are going to get started. We have a base, which is in the Blushing Bride. I'm going to make it just like this one over here. The base is 6 by 6. The lid, that's not right. The lid should be 4 by 4. I'm not sure if that is. It's not. There we go. The lid's 4 by 4. So that's an opposite color, bottom, top. Then we have an insert, which is this little piece right here, which is the Blushing Bride. And that one is 1 7/8 by 5.5. 1 7/8 by 5.5. And then I have some panels that are 1 7/8 square. I have 4 Cherry Cobbler, which go on the inside here, and 1 Blushing Bride, which goes on the top. Okay, so this piece for the top, we're not going to corner round. You can put that to the side. These are the 4 inner panels, and as you can see on my base here, we're going to take the Project Life corner rounder and we're going to corner round just 2 corners on every piece. Okay, save that corner rounder. Don't let it go far because we're going to use it again. I'm going to get those out of the way. I'm going to move my box out of the way. And I'm going to grab, where did it go? My Simply Scored. Okay. This is the base, the 6 by 6. And we are going to score at 2 inches on all 4 sides. So you have squares. It's like a big tic-tac-toe. We're going to take the lid and we're going to score at 1 inch on all 4 sides. We're going to take our inner panel on the long side, the 5.5 side, and we're going to score at 1 7/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right before the 2. And then we're going to score at 2 3/8. And then we're going to score at 4 1/4. And then we're going to score at 4 3/4. So you have a little flap, an edge, and then 2 big squares. And that, my friends, is all your scoring. We're going to fold all of our score lines, and you'll see how this comes together as the base. Get your little flap there. Peasy peasy. And then we're going to do our lid. And our base. Our lid we are going to cut notches. So I'm going to go straight down close to my bigger piece, and then I'm going to notch in on the other side. So I took a triangle out of there, and then I'm going to notch this side. Okay, so I'm going to go in right next to my big flap, and then I'm going to angle in and notch out of this side, and I'm going to angle out and notch that side. Then we're going to flip it and do the same thing on this side. You don't have to take much. That's a little bit much. You don't have to take much at all. Just want a little notch so that your edges don't pop up over the tops of any seams. Okay, so you can really see the notches there. That's all done. For the base, we're going to take away the 4 outer corners. So we need these corners gone. So I'm going to go on the inside of all my score lines and cut them out so that I can make sure they're all the same size. So the inside of my score lines, close to the piece I'm keeping. Hope that makes sense. You've got an in or out. You can go right down the middle if you wanted to. I'm going to go closer to the inside here on all of my pieces. There we go. Those are scrap, but they're good sizes. They're 2-inch squares. Hang on to those. You never know when you're going to need them. We're going to bring in our corner rounder again, and on the base of our corners, the corners of our base, I should say, we're going to round all those corners with our Project Life corner rounder. There. Looking a bit more like the bomb box. Sounds like I'm saying bomb, like bombs away. Okie dokie. The panels. We can bring in those panels that we had. I'm just going to use snail in the video for the panels. I think you're okay with snail. If you want to use a thicker or stronger adhesive, go for it. You can see there's a little bit of a lip. So I'm lining it up with my score line on the bottom and then centering it. And then there's a little bit of a lip all the way around. There we go. There. Voila! Now this is my lid. This panel without the corner rounding goes right on the top of your lid. There's a little bit of wiggle room there, so make sure it's centered. And then I'm going to see if I can use my fuse. here. Okay, I'm just going to use some snail for that last one. There we go. Okay, so we've got our panel on the top. We're going to fold these in and then line up our creases. And see what this notching does is it makes sure that you don't have any little edges sticking up over top, right? 'Cause sometimes we measure the best we can and we get everything situated and we end up with these little grooves over top that we have to trim. So that's what the notching takes care of, so you don't even have to do that. So all of those flaps go in. There we go. So we've got the lid and we've got the base. Those fold up. And fit right inside. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. So cute. This is the inner panel. And I need a scrap of Blushing Bride. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this, I've got scallop. And where's my 3/8? 1 3/8 circle. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take my 1 3/8 circle. And usually when I punch, I try to get right to the corner so I can save every little bit. I don't. I want this one in the center. Okay, and you've got a circle here. Save that. You've got your 1 3/4 scallop, and this is going to go right around. So you're going to center that, so you get a nice flower. See that? Perfect. Then what you want to do, I'm going to use some Tombow for this, because my fuse doesn't want to cooperate with me right now. So what I'm going to do, this is your big square side panel, big square side panel. This is the little flap that's left over. Once you've folded all your score lines, you notice that this goes right together. So I'm putting some Tombow on the edge and I'm lining that right up. I'm just going to hold it for a second. Oh, poop. Look at what I did. I'm not going to do that. Don't do that. Whatever you do, don't do that. Thankfully that was Tombow and I could take that apart. Okay, before you adhere, we're going to do a punch. Silly, silly me. I'm going to do my 2-way glue pen. Ooh, there we go. I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on that scrap circle. I'm going to center that on my panel. So my flap is here that I was gluing. So it's the square closest to that one. This is going to be your bottom. Okay, this is your top. So your circle's on there. And you're going to take your 1 3/8 circle again. And this is going to be your guide so that you know you're getting it in the center. Okay, so you have 2 circles. Now, what you can do is adhere that together. So let's put a little bit of Tombow. Take 2. We'll try this again. We'll line this puppy up. There. Oh, the joys of stamping. You never know when something's going to go awry. Okay, so there we have it. There's your base. Now to pretty it up, we've got this little scallop in our 2-way glue pen. And I love the 2-way glue. I use this all the time, and I don't often take it to stamp club or usually to classes, not so much to club. because the ladies bring their own adhesive, so sometimes I forget to tell them about it, and we rediscover it all the time. I know the ladies know about it, but we rediscover it all the time. This blue adhesive is permanent, and if you let it dry, it gets to be like a Post-it note glue. So if you let that go clear, it wouldn't be a permanent adhesive, which is super cool. So you've got the two-way glue on there, and while it's blue, I'm just going to press that down. Lets you get into all those little scallops. The Tombow would as well. So you can use either one, the Tombow or the two-way glue. There we go. And then I'm going to use the Tombow for this guy. I'm just going to put a bit in the bottom, and then I'm going to center this. And you can push it to the side. Once you get it centered, you can push this to the side to really hold it down while the Tombow dries, because it'll just pop right back up again. So hold that, oh, it slipped a little bit. Hold that for a second or two. You can even go to the other side. There. How cool is that? Super cute, super easy. Put your balm in. Maybe not purple. Maybe not well used. Maybe try a new one. And then you can put your lid on. And then what I did with this guy, I took the Petite Petals flowers in the Cherry Cobbler and the Blushing Bride ink. I punched 3 of them out and put little rhinestones on there. If you've got a bigger flower, you could put one big flower on the top. You could just put a greeting on the top. Whatever you would like to do. That is your base lip balm holder, and you can embellish as you like. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Happy stampin'!